Welcome, Scott. Where have you been?
Yeah, I was in Joburg. I didn't get away.
Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, chilling with the Silver Fox of the show, Drake's uncle. Told you he's Drake's uncle. We have a special guest in the building today from our precinct, Tshimologong, the makers themselves. Have you made anything in your life? Like make?
I was pretty good with Lego. Kind of counts.
Halfway.
I was good at it, though. Yeah.
You're good. You could actually build a car with it.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice. But we actually have a maker in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, Kopano.
Yeah. Hello guys, how's it?
Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
I know I sort of ambushed you and just took you right off of your desk while you're busy with your meetings.
No, it's okay.
Thanks for making the time, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Do you mind introducing yourself to our viewers? Over there. And just explaining who Kopano is, where he comes from, and how he gets in this business before you explain what the business is.
All right. Kopano, that's who I am. Kopano is an industrial designer. I run a business called Auko Designs, spelled A-U-K-O, the word designs. I design and manufacture custom educational enhancement tools. We use 3D printing and laser cutting to manufacture all types of concepts that all types of people have from all types of industries. That's just essentially what I am in a nutshell. There's more. There's layers. There's a lot more. Yeah.
There's layers to being an industrial designer.
Yeah. But I'm 100%. Also one of the guys, one of the businesses at the Tshimologong Precinct at the Maker Space. There's a couple of us. We are a collective of different makers, engineers, designers. And we work on all types of projects together. We have our own separate businesses that we run, and then we have collaborations that we work on together as a team.
Is there a little beef happening between industrial designers and construction workers?
No. We all work together. I mean, everybody needs it.
In terms of swag, I see.
Oh, yeah,
your fit is kind of like construction. You'll see construction guys looking like industrial designers.
Let me tell you.
What's the chat there?
So initially, I wanted like a plain blue one, right? Without the
reflectors.
The reflectors, and then I got this guy, so I'm gonna work with what I have. But I'm also just gonna it's like some sort of a representation of
safety first,
make.
Man.
Yeah,
Safety
I mean,
first.
and what kind of a maker doesn't have PPE? You know, what kind of a guy? I work with machines. Sorry, I gotta have some PPE. You know what I mean?
Safety first.
Yeah, safety
this
first.
man almost burned us.
Hey,
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yo, you see, that's why we have to make sure. You know what I mean? Yeah.
The whole building was out and about.
Yeah.
Because it was filled with smoke.
Yeah, it was. I mean, one of the guys had forgot to switch on the air filter that sucks out the smoke. We were laser cutting some stuff. Yeah. And then the smoke got stuck in the machine, and then the fire alarm went on, and everybody was like, "There's a fire! Get out!" Let's go outside, and
It was nice. It was a nice welcoming back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. At the precinct. So how did you get in the industry? Where did you start? You were an industrial engineer. Did you work as an industrial engineer before this, or from that did you straight away get into being self-employed and building these fantastic products?
So no, thanks for that. Thanks for a good question. So started 2013. Started off with architecture, construction. I mean, you see, not a
that's where the swag is from.
Not a coincidence, yeah. So I did a course in construction engineering drafting. I learned about floor plans. I learned about the study of buildings, material studies, principles of just basic design. Yeah. I did that 2013, and initially 2013 was a gap year because I matriculated 2012, and then 2013 was my gap year. I was supposed to have studied at Wits, and then I didn't get accepted. Marks weren't good enough, blah, 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 blah. And then after that, then we did construction a year. And within that year, I was doing a lot of research on design and innovation and found industrial design. And I loved it because, being able to then use mathematics and art and create stuff with your hands, very fascinating. I got addicted to how people can think about stuff and make stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be an industrial designer. And in 2014, I started at UJ. I applied actually for industrial design through 2013, did the portfolio, then applied at UJ, got accepted, and then I did my first year at UJ, failed the first year, went back again, and then passed and failed again. And then within that time frame, I was figuring out, okay, is this what I want to do? And then my mom always emphasized some sort of entrepreneurial impact, because like with my son, and outside of wanting to get a job, you want to help people, you want to help people understand stuff and make things and have impact and create jobs. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna create jobs. It's a need in the country anyway.
Right.
So I mean that vision started coming more and more and more. And then I started designing floor plans for like restaurants, and then I started doing graphic design work. I did websites. So I was just really into design, anything design work. And I just really focused on design as a source of income while I was studying, because I failed 2 years, so I had to like I had to find ways to make money to pay it back. But my mom was there, obviously helpful. And then in that I worked, I studied, and then I got a job at Region Lighting 2018 as an intern, designing lights, light fittings, doing CAD design, understanding the flow of manufacturing. CAD.
That software.
Yeah, it's I won't lie, it was actually, I hated it as well when I started off, because I failed it, right? I don't understand, why is it so difficult? I mean, I'm good at computers, why am I not getting this?
Yeah.
And it just takes practice
and
consistency, and also just being able to align physical product with CAD. It helps a lot. But anyway, so 2018 registered the company Auko Designs. 2018. 2018, so it's been like, what, 6 years now, man?
Yeah, your 10-year anniversary is coming soon.
Yeah, but anyway,
we'll bring the flowers out
soon. Then then Auko Designs, I went in full force.
Yeah,
I was doing my honors degree around that time, 2018, and I was working at design firms, but more of contracting work, not really like full time. Just we need some CAD design. We need an architecture to check this out. We need like the website design, anything design, as I mentioned, even fashion design, jewelry design, everything. Yeah, I tapped into.
I need you to patch this guy up with some fashion.
I mean, look, I'm not much of a fashionista. So I mean, but like the fashion design came from like being able to just know how to like sew and like embroidery and customizing clothes and stuff. Yeah, and then then started making knives.
Knives.
Yeah.
Like proper knives or like chef butter knives?
No, proper chef knives, like a proper. I have some at home.
Do you still make?
Not anymore, but it's still within the pipeline at the background there.
Nice.
So how did you land in the precinct? Like, what's the connection there?
Yeah.
How did that work out?
Yeah, So I remember 2019, I was doing my honors, my thesis, and my thesis was around creating points for payment systems for informal waste pickers and businesses in the city. So security of money, because people get robbed in the city. So that was my thesis, and then I was trying to design a point of payment device, and I was like, I need to know about 3D printing. We had 3D printers at UJ, but we weren't really as in depth, because it was more academic, not really,
It wasn't practical.
I mean, it was practical. There was a huge element of practicality, but I don't know. It just wasn't. I wasn't getting it there, And then I went to the TMG Maker Space. Actually, my mentor / my supervisor, Angus Campbell, who at that time was the HOD at Industrial Design Department, I was like, no, listen, there's a place called Tshimologong. They do what you do. There's guys like you, guys that are doing some amazing stuff. Go collaborate and meet people. You can't be stuck in the studio the whole time. You gotta go meet people. So I went there, and then I met Nelson. You know Nelson?
Yeah.
I met Nelson. This was 2019.
Okay.
Just before COVID. Like, come, Nelson. Like, no, come through. Come join the space. Come be a part of the community. Come, your skills will be cool. And then COVID happened, and then it was.
Lights off.
Yeah, then all those plans we had kind of fell to like pause. Then 2021, and still building the business, building the websites, getting jobs there. Then we're here now.
But what has your experience been with the precinct? Being part of a digital precinct like Tshimologong, being part of the maker space, how has that experience been for you?
It's just been life-changing, to be honest with you, because I've been able to align myself with like-minded individuals who think like me, who do things like me, who are interested in changing the world in some sort of way, just like I am. young men, young women as well, from different walks of life as well, which is very interesting. Yeah, I mean, and also just being able to see and be surrounded around people that are highly tenacious with what they do. Everybody's just working. Everybody just really has this goal, this dream of really improving their lives.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to create jobs. Everybody wants to help the world become a better place. So I was drawn to that more than outside of the products and the 3D printing and stuff.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, it's been beautiful. Yeah. It's been
So for someone who's just seen maybe an ad or a flyer, Auko Design,
yeah.
how would you explain it? What is Auko Design? Is it a product-based company? Is it a services-based company? Are you offering products or is it services?
It's a mixture of
What is this business?
It's a mixture of both. So Auko Designs essentially is an industrial design, research and development manufacturing company, in hindsight.
Okay.
And right now, our focal point is educational enhancement tools, which is a product that we sell. However,
Educational?
enhancement tools.
Cool.
Educational enhancement puzzle tools. You wanna call
Puzzles.
them. Puzzles. Let's call them puzzles, yeah. These guys, yeah.
Ah.
Well,
nice.
talk about that a little bit. Like, what are they? What was the inception? Like, why did you choose that avenue? Was it someone that requested it, or how did that come about?
Great question, actually. So, yeah, look, I started off designing like little toys. I actually wanted to design toys. That was actually what I wanted to do initially before I went
Like
into
toys?
toys, like action figures.
Oh.
I really like toys. Yeah, like it's kind of interesting. But and then I got into the maker space, right? And I saw there was a huge element of education that I started seeing people making educational solutions using the products, which is a huge gap in opportunity. So I saw that opportunity. I saw the aspect of toys, the aspect of also liking to teach and share knowledge. And then I realized, okay, cool. So schools have, and I mean, look, I'm really passionate about education and learning, right?
Right.
And I then realized that, you know, I saw these videos on TikTok with these Asian Chinese kids. I don't know if it's Chinese or Japanese, but they were like cooking and making little gadgets with 3D printing, 6 years old, 5 year old. And I'm like, yo, kids can do that as well. Then I started seeing it's actually happening already with Kiro schools and Montessori schools. I'm like, whoa, this is actually happening. You know, then you start to think, okay, there's an opportunity that's not really being tapped into.
Yeah.
I'm an industrial designer. I love education. I love toys. And then it was a no-brainer. And there's an opportunity to help people and help myself in the process, yeah.
So these are the kind of products we can expect out of Auko Designs.
That's exactly that.
Outside of the
puzzles, yeah.
the puzzles, is there anything else that you guys are offering?
So as a collective, as I've mentioned, we have different skill sets. Other guys are robotics, other guys are more into IoT, Internet of Things. Myself, I'm an industrial designer. So there's different projects that we come together. Like for example, this is what was made by Envelope Tech. And this is like a lamp, as you can see, that changes color. So he's an IoT specialist, right?
I get that. I mean, referring to Auko Designs, not the entire maker space.
Auko Designs.
Yeah, is this the only product or are there more products?
Oh, okay. So this is the main. These guys here, the African puzzle as well, which is the bigger seller. This is what we sell more to tourists. So it's basically the same as this guy over here.
Okay.
The only difference is that, well, it's the country.
You gotta tilt it a bit so people can see it.
I don't know if people can see that.
Don't drop
Africa's falling apart, man.
Africa's fallen. Help us.
Falling!
Grab it.
So we have pieces over here of the different countries, how they're shaped, and at the base it's the name of the country.
Right.
So this is great
Oh,
for you.
I see.
You get
So
it.
you don't have the names of the country on the actual puzzle, but when you pick it up, you'll find the name.
Exactly. So it teaches you spatial awareness, but also then you get to guess what the country's like, what the country is. Yeah. And you actually physically get to see what the shape of the country actually is. Because you can say South Africa, but what does South Africa look like? How does it feel like? How big is it compared to Congo? How big is it compared to Liberia? How big is it compared to Madagascar?
So the sizes are actually real sizes.
Yes.
I mean, in comparison, of course.
Yeah, like scaled down. Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are actual real scale. I mean, look, I got the map off the internet. And they scaled it according to size, and we got this. So yeah, this is our biggest seller, the Africa puzzle.
So is this stuff you put into schools, or is this like selling to tourists, or what?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, both tourists and schools. Yeah. And just normal people, adults that are really into like geography and puzzles. There's actually a big market of people that like puzzles. like huge market. So yeah, this is also just one of those. These are the two biggest sellers, but I do have other stuff that we make. Like for example, we make. Just quickly move this over here. We make these types of customized.
You've got makers in the building.
These
types of a lot of stuff.
Thank you, sir. These types of, so it's still a puzzle. It's an image. So we used AI. Okay, we got an image of a young lady.
Okay.
And then we used AI to then animate the image, and then we turned it into a puzzle, which is also like you can also wall mount this as like a picture frame, and
nice.
you can have it as a puzzle that you could play with.
So can a customer give you their own image for you to do that?
Yep, that's exactly the point. So you give me an image of yourself, of your family, for example, and we turn it into a puzzle, and you can play and
nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then you can that's
Interesting.
That's the product of Auko Designs, and the services part we customize products. You have an idea, you'd like to design an engine or you'd like to design some sort of drone.
Okay.
We help use CAD, and then we use 3D printing and laser cutting, and then we make it, and then boom, you can go pitch and get funding for your innovation.
You still working on action figures on the side?
Yes, that's
nice.
Still there in the
Good.
background. I've got
Nice.
some stuff there. I'm not gonna expose, but I've got some.
Have you ever checked out when Comic-Con is here? Have you gone through to that?
Yes, I've
You've
been,
seen the
yeah.
figurines there, out of this world, eh?
Yeah, mind-blowing stuff. I love Comic-Con, bro. I didn't go this year though. I went last year. This year couldn't go, but last year.
Yeah,
yes,
but that what's it? Symbiote. There's a collective or whatever that transports these figurines.
Yeah.
Some of them are life size, right?
Yes.
Life size.
Yeah. Spectacular designs, like out of this world.
Detailed. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But expensive, right? But like
Yeah.
expensive produced as well.
Of course, yeah. It takes time for. I mean, it's a lot of work to make such.
Do you know what materials they
how
use?
do they? Yeah, that was my next question. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't actually looked into. Are those designed? How are those designed? Through CAD? Are they printed? How are those things made? Like,
So
I don't actually know.
there's various processes, but one I think they do, rather I'm certain, is like 3D scanning.
Okay.
So essentially what they'll do is if it's someone like, if you want to design something life size like myself, or in anything life size, there's something that they use in the automotive industry. They use it to scan certain parts of cars to then transfer that scan into a CAD file, which then they 3D print. So they can scan it scale, like to scale as you are, and then we can then 3D print that to scale, you know. So that's like the type of technology that's been used. Literally just, so for example, I would scan you, I would take your face, I would go on CAD, I would edit it and animate it. Now there's AI even, so you can actually use AI to then add.
I'm sure it'll be
you know,
more precise.
Yeah, you know. And then after that, you then 3D print and then.
Oh,
Magic.
so this is how they're making this great statues all over the world.
Yeah, nowadays, it's easier
Yeah.
that way. I mean, look, you still get sculpt. This doesn't take away from the guy that do sculptures and art. Like, look, yes, but I mean, there's technology's here. I mean, you can always just scan someone and edit them.
You must have known Alex that used to work at the Maker Space
Yes.
in Tshimologong. Yeah,
Yes.
you know he's in Cape Town now. You know he's been making little figurines and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in contact with him. You chat to
Well,
him.
we haven't spoken in a little bit. The last time he was here last year, I think it was around September time, or I think a little before then. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, he's
Okay,
actually
good, yeah.
he's the one that actually hooked me up with Nelson. Actually,
Oh, nice.
and Mia as well. It was actually Mia that hooked me up with Alex, and Alex hooked me up with Nelson.
Nice.
Nice. Cool.
Were you there before they left, or?
Yeah, I was there just when they left. Alex left before Mia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Alex left, I think, a couple of months before. Then Mia left, followed through, and then I was there when Mia was still there. Then she left. Yeah, but I've known him for years, by the way, because I was always going to the Maker Space. Remember, studying, doing my honors, going back, meeting the gents, getting some advice, going, you know.
Okay.
So here's my thing with maker spaces, right? This is a personal quip.
Okay.
Is that, so I've been hanging around for a little while, so and I always pop into the maker space, and I find like what you guys do interesting. Like it's clever, like in terms of like from spatial to like designing to reprinting, like that kind of workflow I find quite clever. And there's also like really interesting little art projects essentially that like take the environment and then you feed into computer, and depending on how you what your program is, the computer reinterprets the space or the sound or whatever into something else. Like these are really clever things, but what my end goal in the makerspace is you kind of get stuck almost in terms of scalability, in terms of what you're doing, like printing, or like, do you think about this? Like, what's your product avenue. I mean, what's your scale? Like, how are you thinking about your business building? How you? Because for me, I think it's clever stuff, but it's but it's like, okay,
where's it go?
What's the solution? Or what's the
So I speak for myself right now. I've started directly going to retail. Like I'm having conversations with Toys R Us to get this in stores. But this is not just to sell at Toys R Us. This is to like for traction, for impact, right?
Okay.
And we also sell at Rosebank markets and different markets as well. Same thing for impact. But I think the biggest scaling aspect, or rather what's going to be more impactful for scaling, is online sales, e-commerce.
Okay.
We merge that with great social media marketing, and then we already have impact from the retail and the markets, and then pop-up stores in malls. And then that's how we scale. Like, I think the scalability of this is on the ground with the people, like generally selling to the people, direct sales, online sales. That's how this moves. And then within all of that, I mean, I've worked with corporates as well. Corporates order in bulk. They want some customized stuff. So then that comes in between as well. So that's...
Because I was thinking, like, I visited Alex in Cape Town end of 2023, and he was doing a figurine, like a cop bobblehead for one of the hip hop artists down there, but he had a certain order to fill, like he had to print like quite a number of these, and he's in a small flat, and he basically built up like this production line in his flat to get this out, and I was like, that's not sustainable, like so it's interesting, like when guys talk about how are you actually approaching your business or products, and what are you building.
So in terms of that part, right, especially with scalability in terms of manufacturing, there's partnerships that we created now. So there's a place called Inmate Workshop. The owner's name is Henry in Randburg. I don't know if you guys have heard about them. Inmate Workshop, check them out, amazing. They have all types of machines, world class, compete with China. So I work with them sometimes when I have like big orders. Okay. And essentially, it's like it's a space where you go, you pay for using the machines for a day or a week or a month, or you become a member.
Okay.
So then it's catered for guys like us that don't have the biggest infrastructures to create thousands of units at a time. And we go there, we get our team, we work from there, we pay, and then we get products at the highest level.
Nice. Do they source electronic components?
Not necessarily. It's more just
machinery.
Making.
Interesting. When Scott asked the sustainability and the scalability of the products, in my head I'm thinking, how if there's another guy out there that's making similar products, and I'm looking at two similar service providers, how do I choose Auko Designs? What's that unique value prop?
USP.
That
UPS. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What am I getting just over and above beautiful handcrafted, thoroughly cut 3D designs?
Okay, so to answer that, everything that we do is locally designed, locally researched. So we work with real teachers on the ground that actually work with kids.
Okay.
So then everything that we do is not random. It's not based off hype. It's based off real problems to fix real things, right?
So it's all contextualized.
Yeah, essentially. So we partner with I'd say to an extent, but we partner with teachers and we design unique custom products that fit the curriculums of the educational system from grade 4 to grade 7.
Right.
So it's directly related to school, as what's happening at school. We have booklets as well that we work with teachers that are teaching geography, arts and culture, and we merge that with industrial design, and then we come up with little booklets that have activities, and then we play activities, or rather you learn to play through the booklet and the puzzle. So there's a learning, playing element. So it's a unique way of learning.
So if I have a school and I'm teaching young kids, what is the value prop? Why shouldn't I go the ordinary route and just teach kids off of books? What more are they getting from this? What is the difference in experience? What are they getting more from products like this versus the traditional way of just teaching them a board, a book, test? What more are they getting from it?
Great question. From this, look, there's analytical so let me just take it back. So human beings essentially are makers. We figure out stuff through making and solving with our hands. Okay. So then there's an element of learning to play where then you incorporate fixing things, analytical thinking, problem solving with playing, and then that's where this comes in. So it's like a different way of learning, but you learn through play, and it's practical, and it's anybody can do it. Doesn't matter your language, your where you're from. If you are able to figure out stuff with your hands as a person blessed with hands from God, then you're able to play with these puzzles and learn from them. So it kind of goes away from the old school way of learning where teacher writes on the board and the child would copy and then regurgitate it in a test, versus this is you have to physically solve it in order to get it right, not remember it. So I think that's the difference.
Okay, nice. What more educational products have you created? I mean, there's that. I'm sure kids can play, understand the map. I can see there are cities there as well. What other educational products have you created? Maybe that clients have bought or that you currently have?
We made a version. I don't have it with me right now, but we have a version of Tetris. I don't know if you guys know the game Tetris.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
Tetris.
What?
You know Tetris?
You don't know Tetris.
No.
You know Tetris.
You know Tetris.
Everybody in the studio knows Tetris? I'm the only one who doesn't know Tetris.
Tetris. That's like the OG game. That's like the first game.
Yeah.
Basically, this is Tetris. I don't know if you see these shapes. I don't know if you've seen these shapes before here. These types of shapes. Remember, you know that game where
They kind of fall down, you have to slot them in.
Oh, brick game.
Yeah.
Ow, why are you giving a...
Yeah, it's called Tetris, but a brick game.
Ow, man. Scott,
Brick
why
game.
you just call it brick game?
No comment.
Oh, Tetris.
So what we did at Auko Designs is that it's, as our puzzles are unique. I mean, also going back to the value proposition, we've taken Tetris and then we've then turned it into a puzzle that's that you can customize it and have it as a puzzle like this.
Okay.
Where we have an image on it, which was an actual puzzle, which then goes away from the traditional shapes of puzzles, which is unique. It's different. And yeah, I think that's the biggest impact. But like, to answer your question up with the game that we made, we have Tetris there. We were able to then incorporate it in a way that it becomes practical. So when in order for you to figure it out, you have to figure out the puzzle. You have to get all the pieces right, and you only have an opportunity to get the piece right, to get the piece in the space at that one time. Versus in the game, the digital game, you can always change it up, but with the physical one, you have one chance and one chance only. And then you can go against each other, and it's practical and it's fun and it's a puzzle. So it still plays on Tetris, plays on puzzle making, analytical thinking, problem solving.
So it's like a physical Tetris. Brick game.
Brick game.
It's a physical one.
Yeah. It's a physical brick game.
Oh.
I like that.
Do you have any plans to create digital versions of this? Like, I mean, that the brick game thing would work. I mean, if I have access to this physically and on my mobile, kind of works. If I could do that on my phone as well, is that a plan for the business to scale into digital products?
Different disciplines, though.
No.
Disciplines,
I am strictly focusing on tangibles, educating solutions, learning through playing, physically picking something up, breaking it apart, seeing why it works the way it works, putting it back together. That's how the world is made. That's how human beings learn the world. And I'm sticking to that part. Digital side is, there's a lot of people doing that already,
Is it?
But I am open to collaborating and incorporating some sort of AI into this at a later stage. But for now, I think that the human mind is enough AI merged together with products. It's fine.
You can tell we have a real maker in the building. Human beings learn by touching.
No offense to the IT guys and the digital gamers. Love you all, but
you are hands-on.
I'm hands-on, yeah.
All right.
What any comments on the sort of outside of your, the world of Tshimologong, but any comments in terms of the larger makerspace kind of community around you? But do you feel that there's good movement there? Has it kind of progressed in the last few years? Has it shrunk a little bit? Like it kind of comes like this. You hear about the makerspace and it goes away. Then you hear about
exactly. Look, I think it's it is growing. It's just a matter of persistency and continuously showing the growth. The opportunity we get, but it's growing. We're getting more international communication with other makers from international spaces, so we're learning from the guys that are doing it already.
Are you getting support? Are you getting whether it's funding or any sort of any more sort of broader support on the horizons for?
Not necessarily, but I guess support comes from friendships and partnerships and learning from each other. I mean, support is not just money, right? Support is like mentorship.
Oh, we've let you come in here,
influence.
pimp your products. It's, you know.
Shit, okay, I get you though. Yeah, okay, that, that was like that then, yeah.
That's Drake's angle. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, and like, now if you leave
Now you see what I
see what
mean.
you mean, I see what
There
you
you
mean.
go.
Yeah, but yeah, look, I mean, support is always something that we always want to get access to. But yeah, I mean, we work with what we have, you know. Yeah.
Okay. For if somebody's out there and they want to get into the space, with your journey, having been through universities, having been part of different programs in universities, and ultimately landing at Tshimologong and being part of the maker space, what advice would you give out there to go? If you're getting into the space, how important is it to go through the educational programs and at the end find yourself with a community of like-minded people? What was that journey like for you, and what advice would you give to somebody trying to get in the same space that you're in?
Yeah, I think that, education is always, no matter what it is, it's always important to keep learning. You might not have the money to go to school and get a degree that's 40,000, 50,000 a year. But there's internet now, there's YouTube, you can literally learn on YouTube. So I think educating yourself as much as possible. I never knew how to design websites. I studied industrial design, but I learned on YouTube how to design websites. You know, I never knew I even designed a 3D animation of my logo. No one taught me that, I did that myself. So I realized, okay, and I even made money from it because I was able to then tell people I make animations. And I'm like, I did it myself, you know, learned on YouTube, how do you animate this on SolidWorks? And then I learned and then I sold it and I made some money. So there's always opportunities everywhere. And the opportunities a lot more come from the people that you associate yourself with, your circle. And yeah, just really, I think outside of figuring it out by yourself, you will get to the pinnacle when you have a team and you have individuals that you work with. I think partnership and teamwork is what is the difference between success and no success, honestly speaking.
Right.
So yeah.
And the communities, how important are they for a maker to belong to a particular community? Like you belong to the maker space. And what value does that add to your business?
It's important to belong to a community, especially a community of like-minded people that kind of get you. Because this stuff I do, not anybody gets it. Going down the road and trying to sell these puzzles, I'll get laughed at, you know. But then I get to a space where it's like there's an understanding.
Right.
And within that understanding, there's an ecosystem that exists that people already have access to, that I can tap in. And I can create my own ecosystem that they can tap in. So it becomes a collaboration versus competition.
Nice.
So that's I think collaboration is bigger than competition. It always reaps better results.
And which is more readily available to you guys in this space? Do you see a lot of funding opportunities or investment opportunities for businesses like this?
I don't necessarily see the funding opportunities or the investment. I don't, but like I think
are they there though?
They're there because Tshimologong is obviously connected with Wits, highly connected, and they have a lot of networks and relationships with really big boys and girls that are doing big things. So within that, they come, they visit us, and they see the stuff we do, and I have an opportunity to speak about what I do, and give a business card out, get contact details, and communicate me. And I've made business through at Tshimologong.
Right.
Currently, right now, I was able to design a couple of these not me, but myself and my team were able to design these. It's actually a phone stand.
What is that?
Let me show you. It's actually a phone. So it's a trophy.
It's a trophy.
It's an award. Like, hey, you've won.
Oh, nice.
First place for whatever. But it's a multifunctional trophy because it works as a phone stand. You can put your phone on like that, and you can kind of just play a video if you want to play a video or podcast or I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice stand. He actually made a stand out of a trophy.
Yeah.
So I can actually use my trophy.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit and collect dust.
Exactly. It's
nice.
functional. So this was through Tshimologong, through the networks I made this. So yeah, and I made a couple of units during December. We just were able. The awards was I think it was last week. Yeah. So yeah, so those are the types of networks I was able to get access to. But I mean, my advice to people: just put yourself out there. Come to these types of podcasts. Speak. You never know who you're gonna meet. You never know. So just get out there and talk to people and just be like, yo, that's what I do. I make these products. What do you do? I do this. Okay, let's align, and then we work. And then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, there's always other people. I mean, there's like 7 billion people in the world. You are gonna get that deal eventually, bro. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, eventually, yeah. So,
nice. Cool.
Anything else?
No, that's it from my side. Yeah, thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. Anything else you want to say to the supporters? How do they get hold of you? How do they buy? How do they put in orders?
Okay, so we're currently working on our e-commerce. It was supposed to be launched last week, but I mean, we getting the chart working. But go on the internet, research Auko Puzzles. This is Auko Puzzles. Auko Puzzles is AUKO Puzzles with the S at the end. And then search Auko Designs, AUKO, the word designs.
Yeah.
And yeah, Google search us, find us online. Social media, send us messages. We're very responsive. All social media platforms, LinkedIn, Behance, Pinterest.
Hey, man.
We're everywhere.
All right, nice. We'll leave the links in the descriptions below so they can reach out.
All right.
Kopano, thank you, man. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, guys.
It's been The Angle Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do like, subscribe, share on all social media platforms. And as always, thanks to our sponsors, Mla and Mpoboto Robotics and the nice speakers there. The Daily Dot Store with the nice furnitures. Thank you so much, guys. Till next time.
Yep.